Hello everyone, my name is Meagan Conant, and for my project topic I chose to provide an overview of Sandro Botticelli's timeline of work. So let's get started. So who was Sandro Botticelli? Well, he was an Italian painter in the early Renaissance period, who was born sometime in 1445. He is renowned for his exceptional artistic skill and contributions to the Florentine art scene. Botticelli's work reflects the spirit of the time, characterized by a fascination with classical mythology, humanism, and beauty. Botticelli's early training took place in the workplace of Fra Filippo Lippi, where he honed his technique and mastered the art of fresco painting. In the late 1470s and early 1480s, he gained prominence as an independent artist and received significant commissions from influential patrons like the Pope. During this time, he produced some of his most iconic works, including The Birth of Venus and Primavera. Here we can see some of Botticelli's earliest paintings. Fortitude, painted in 1470, which is a tempera on panel painting depicting a female figure representing the virtue of fortitude. Then we have Adoration of the Magi in 1475, which is a large altarpiece featuring the biblical scene of the Magi presenting gifts to baby Jesus. And finally, like I mentioned earlier, Primavera, which was painted in 1477 and considered a masterpiece of mythological allegory, depicting a group of figures in a lush garden setting. As we move our way into the middle period of Botticelli's career, we start to see where his artistic style underwent a huge transformation in the 1480s, and this was influenced by the religious fervor and asceticism of the Dominican friar Girolamo Savonarola. During this time period, we see the creation of one of Botticelli's most iconic pieces of work, The Birth of Venus, which was started in 1482 and finished up in 1485, portrays the goddess Venus emerging from the sea on the shell. And then we have Madonna of the Magnificat, which was painted in 1485 and depicts a Madonna and child painting in a circular composition, and they are surrounded by cherubs and angels. Next, we move into the late period of Botticelli's career, where he continued to create beautiful pieces of art such as the mystical Nativity that reflected a more contemplative and spiritual approach to his artwork. During this late period of his career, we see the Calumny of Apelles, which was painted in 1495, and this is a complex allegorical painting, which was inspired by a description by the ancient Greek writer Lucian. And then the Mystical Nativity, created in 1500 and finished up in 1501, which was a unique and deeply religious composition depicting the Nativity of Jesus with angelic and demonic figures all around him. And finally, we have the Palace and the Centaur, which was painted in 1482 and finished up in 1485. And this depicts a mythological scene which shows the goddess Pallas, Athena, and a centaur, symbolizing the struggle between reason and desire. While overlooking these three unique paintings, we see a common theme of religious composition and figures being depicted in various ways. Throughout his career, Botticelli's art demonstrated a combination of religious themes, mythological subjects, and an emphasis on grace and beauty. His use of delicate lines, ethereal figures, and vibrant colors contributed to the distinctive style that became synonymous with his name. Botticelli's work captured the spirit of the Italian Renaissance and continues to captivate audiences with their poetic and allegorical qualities. His choice of clothing was always delicate yet imaginative, with an inclination for lighter colors that art enthusiasts can still sense in today's work. Now, with that being said, it was not until the 19th century revival of interest in Renaissance art that his contributions to the art world were fully recognized and celebrated. Sandro Botticelli's timeline of work spans from the mid-1470s to the late 1490s and early 1500s, with his most celebrated and influential pieces created during the 1480s. To wrap this all up, here I have a list of all the references I used for my images and information. Thanks for listening.